You already know that in sales, the power of your words will make or break your deal. Saying the wrong thing at the wrong time can totally cost you a sale. So in this video, I'm going to show you a powerful speaking technique to cause your prospects to want, how about that, to buy more of your products and services. I'd already been selling for over a decade before I had fully embraced this technique. And only then did I start experiencing what I was doing wrong for so many of those previous years that caused me to miss out on so many lost sales. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jason Forrest, CEO of FPG, where we recruit, train, and build the best sales teams in the world for companies that want to be known for as having the best sales experience in their industry. I make these videos for free because there are a lot of bad salespeople out there and I don't want you to be one of them. So, what top persuaders know that I didn't know for a decade of my life and my sales career is that the more you can speak to the buyer's subconscious mind, then the faster the buyer will understand your value and buy from you. See, the problem is most sales training teaches us to speak to the buyer's conscious mind, which is how I was taught. Let me explain. Your prospect's brain can be broken down into their conscious mind and their subconscious mind. Their conscious mind is controlled by the rules. Think of it like the matrix of how to operate. These are rules like, I can only buy this product or service as long as it fits within my budget, heard that one, time frame, or if I can get my approval from my spouse or my boss or my coworkers. These are all these things you've probably heard in your sales career, just like I've heard, of course, in my sales career, where their subconscious mind is very primal. It's all about making decisions that solve some problem or threat or improves our life or the lives of others. See, the subconscious mind just wants to stop feeling afraid, angry, anxious, frustrated, disappointed. No one wants to feel those things. So instead, the subconscious mind just wants to feel positive things like feeling confident or happy or certain or free or peaceful or relaxed. You get it. See, the subconscious mind doesn't care about those conscious mind rules of the matrix, like the budget, the time frame, the approval from others. So that's it, right? How do you speak to your buyer's subconscious mind? You do it through word pictures, which are called metaphors. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create metaphors so that you can sell more of your products and services today. But before I do, just picture this. 2.5 million years ago, just picture this, right? There are a bunch of cavemen sitting in a cave that could only make grunting noises. They weren't capable of having some sort of language through their mouth. So to be able to communicate to each other and speak to each other, they drew pictures. You getting the word picture here? You're getting the metaphor that I'm using to explain metaphors? All right. Your buyer's subconscious mind is their caveman mind. And the language cavemen understand is pictures. So the more you can use word pictures called metaphors, then the faster your prospect will buy from you. Totally get it. So this is the complete opposite of what the average salesperson is doing and taught from those average sales trainers when they're not using metaphors. See, they're only speaking to the buyer's conscious mind, which means their product or service has to be the exact match with their buyer's rules or criteria, which is why they don't sell as much as they desire. Because think about this right now. How often is your product or service going to be an exact match with your buyer's criteria? Yep, not very often. So if you want to skip past the mistakes that I personally made for the first 10 years of my sales career, then you must use metaphors. So here are 3 easy steps on how to create a metaphor around your product or service. First, you must determine the point you are trying to make. So are you countering an objection? Are you describing a process, an outcome that your prospect will eventually receive from buying your things and stuff, your products and services? Or are you selling something they've never heard of before? Second, what do you know about your audience? Are they male? Are they female? Are they from America? So what's their cultural background? Are they Are they from an Asian culture, a European culture, from a Latin American culture? What are their hobbies? What are their interests? Are they into sports? Are they into dance? Are they into art? Are they into reading or studying or just business and life improvement? See, this is important because not everyone is just into sports. So if you just have sports metaphors, then you're going to alienate some of your prospects. This was a rookie mistake that yours truly made, again, early in his career when he first didn't understand the power of metaphors or even started dabbling in metaphors. And third, what metaphor can you create that would resonate? I love that word, resonate. For example, if they're into sports, then of course use a sports metaphor, versus if they're into dance, you would use a dance metaphor. See, I highly recommend, this is a huge cheat right now that we have in 2023 and the future that we didn't have in the past, and that's ChatGPT. So I highly recommend that you ask ChatGPT to come up with 20 different metaphors. Back in the days, like prior to 2023, you had to manually do this. I had to manually do this. I had a big brainstorming session with my marketing team and my sales team and my company to figure out how do we create metaphors around what we're selling. So the prompt you would use is, hey, ChatGPT, write me 20 different dance metaphors to explain the value of a sales team using a CRM. Obviously, in this case, you believe that the person you're speaking to is really into dance. Maybe they were personally a dancer, they got a kid that's in dance, and you're trying to sell your CRM to this company, right? So the more specific you can ask ChatGPT and your prompts, the better the metaphor. So now, here's some real examples that I know will resonate with you. Remember when Steve Jobs presented the iPod? This was like, man, I was maybe in my 20s, I think, when this thing happened. So when Steve Jobs presented the iPod, no one had a mental model to understand what this thing was because it was a new product, so no one got it, right? I mean, I grew up on cassette tapes, and I remember the laser disc, that huge like record laser disc. Maybe I'm kind of aging myself here. So what did he say? What did Steve Jobs say to communicate the value of the iPod? He said, what if you could hold 1,000 songs in your pocket? And everyone got it. I remember watching that live stream. I remember watching that and him communicating that. Again, what if you could hold 1,000 songs in your pocket? And everyone got exactly what he was explaining. It created a word picture. It created an emotional connection. See, as human beings, we speak in words, but we think in pictures. And so we must understand that in order to be a great persuader. Here's another one. If you're a financial advisor and you're selling a long-term investment vehicle, then you could call it a butterfly fund. Well, what is that? Well, so that your prospects could visualize that the money that they're putting in would cocoon into a butterfly, something more beautiful. Because no one likes to put money into a fund they can't use. People like they like instant gratification, not delayed gratification. So we have to sell them through that obstacle of the money you're putting now. Again, it's going to turn into something bigger and better, like a butterfly. Or if we're trying to communicate the value, in our case, of our sales recruiting service, we would say, hey, what if we could hire and onboard for you the Tom Brady or LeBron James of selling? Or if you're trying to communicate your uniqueness when the prospect says, hey, you're just another manufacturer, distributor, CRM provider, financial advisor. Look, you guys are all the same. In fact, that happens sometimes. A lot of us are into these kind of commodity-based businesses. Well, how do you separate yourself? Through the power of salesmanship, being the best you can be. So in this case, you would use the power of your words, using a metaphor, and you could say, hey, do you have any children? Yeah, I got children. Do they all each have the same personality? No, of course not. I got Mary Jane has got this kind of bubbly personality. We got Elizabeth, who's really more kind of serious and goal-oriented. So I'm curious, would you expect the same from each child? No, of course not. Again, Mary Jane is like this, and Elizabeth is like this. See, just the same, our products are unique, and our customers choose us because, gosh, which parent would not immediately understand that metaphor? And again, what you're doing is you're tying up the conscious mind and you're speaking truth to the subconscious mind. You're getting that conscious mind to go to sleep And you're immediately speaking to that subconscious mind who immediately can connect themselves to the different personalities of their children. And then when you insert that line of, and just the same when people, we're unique and the reason why customers choose us is because, now immediately they're going to hear your message of what makes you different than your competition. Or how about when we're trying to communicate the value of our long-term sales training programs and leadership programs versus our competition that just does one-day events? Then what we would say is, hey, would you ever get on a plane with a pilot that said, hey, this is Jason from Southwest Airlines, and I just went to a one-day session on how to fly a plane, and I got a certificate of achievement, and so I'm ready to fly this plane, so buckle up for safety. Hey, what would you do? You would, of course, you would run off the plane. That is ridiculous. You would never get on a plane with a pilot who went to a one-day session on how to fly a plane. So then why would you give your salespeople $1 million quota and then just give them a one-day event or a book or to watch a video and then expect them to be master sales pilots? All right. I love what Gerald Zaltman, he's a Harvard professor, he's written several books, and he studied a lot of buyer psychology. And he says that 95%, it's a pretty crazy number, of purchase decisions are made in the subconscious mind. So if you have had customers that struggle understanding your value, or you feel that your product or service is superior to your competition, but you're struggling with communicating your value proposition in a way that causes your prospects to pay what you're charging, does that sound familiar? Then that's because you're speaking with words, and again, your prospects are thinking in pictures. So starting right now, when? Right now, you must use metaphors to create word pictures so that you can communicate more effectively to your prospects, so that you can sell more of your products and services to them that will solve their business problems, their financial problems, their life problems, their family problems, their personal problems, and of course, improve their life and the lives of those around them. Until next time, this is Jason Forrest. Push yourself to become a better version of you.